chat. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. We're on Hashima, and oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully, you could hear me better now. We're on Hashima today, and I will be showing you guys around where everything is. If you're new to Hashima, this is the live stream that you want to see. Here we go. Let me just double check everything. And the sound is on. I could see that. Okay, we'll close that. First and foremost, this is our base right here. It's not done. Bear's actually doing most of the building this time. So let's come over here. Open that. Oh, let's raise our flag. Look, the foundation's like in the water a little bit. Raise the flag. Okay. So this part is not, he has a few things he has to put on. This part right here is going to be P2P. And this is where I'm going to sell all my stuff in this room right here. So people will come in and buy, you know, ask, hey, what do you have for sale, and so on. So, isn't this neat? It's not done yet, but okay. And then this side over here is not done. I think this is where the boat's gonna go. And give you a tour real quick. And then we'll start our journey. While some of you are rolling in. This is the second floor. Little balcony here. Bigger one here. So matches from the back side. Go up here. And this side goes further all the way up here. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And then here's the top. He did an amazing job, guys. This is so amazing. I love it. Okay, so that's that. And then you have here's the door. Then he has, and then this is our main living quarters. Come in. This is all this stuff in barrels. I'm gonna get rid of the barrels, chat. Look how many barrels I found. I probably bought like 2 of these, and then the rest I found. Anyways, everything inside I'm gonna sell. So all of this will be gone, chat. So nobody, everything in there is gonna be sold. So just everything on the wall is gonna stay. Let's see, refrigerator, coffee machine. Ooh, let's make a coffee. There we go. Let's make our coffee. Okay, while that's brewing, there's the trash. Okay, repair bench. This is all the tools on this side. And then on this side, I have like the medical stuff, the repair stuff, and all that. And then this is the extra clothes. That I think I might sell as well. Let's go get our coffee. There we go. Oh, it's hot. Hot coffee. See how it's steamy? Let's go for... Look, it's steamy hot. Oh my word. Crazy. Okay. Let's go up. Okay, this is the second floor. Okay. And this, all this stuff is NBC stuff. And then this right here is all my gun. And let's see, over here it's empty. Most of it's just empty. Okay, so the left hand side is mine. Then we're gonna go to third floor. And over here you have ammo, like scope and everything is here. And then over here is more stuff. I mean, this is ammo. This is scope and attachments. That's all on this floor. 2 refrigerators with food. Then let's come up here to the third floor. This is Bear's side. This is my side right here. I have my gun rack. And then all the other side to the left and to the right is stuff that I found that I need. Okay, look at how many key cards I have. And then this is the blank key cards, and then these are regular key cards. So we're gonna need some of that. I'll put this here. No, this. That's food. Okay, let me just put it down here. So I'm gonna need. We're gonna go to the bunker, so we need some of this. Look at me. Sorry, chat. I didn't show you guys this. That's me. I mean that one. Worn. Let's see. Damage. And that one. Okay. So we have. We'll take. Okay. Just in case. Okay. And then we need one of this. So we'll take a damage one. And we'll take one of these. And extra one just in case. Okay. So these are all the, stuff that I would need for to go to bunkers and stuff. Here's my purple MVC that I collected. And these are my guns that I bought from Secret Trader. So on here there's no black market, but there's a Secret Trader, and we're gonna do that today as well. I'm gonna try to fit everything in one live. Okay, so we have our water here. Look at this view. Then we have a few things here, and that's it. And then solar right there. Not much on this floor. Just the view, beautiful view. Go down here. I hope I didn't talk too quick. If anybody have any questions, make sure you ask. Again, like these are just like medical stuff. So, I'm trying to be organized. Okay, let's double check and see if we have everything. Okay, I got food. Okay, warm and baked. Okay, that's still good to eat. We need water before we leave, because we won't be back here for a little bit, a moment. Let's eat some food. So yeah, this is the base, chat. So all these barrels are gonna be, I'm gonna sell them. If not, I'm gonna, sell them at P2P. So that's my P2P shop. Oh, no. Okay, so he moved these because my solo used to be right here. Because this used to be empty. Okay, he moved that. Okay. So I have to find a new place for that. Okay, this is water. I could put it up there. See? This right here, all the way up on top. But you know what? I like it down here. That way when I leave, I could drink my water. So maybe I'll move my water container I don't know, to over here? Or maybe by the flag? I don't know. But the solo needs to be moved too. And reattached. Where's the... oh. There we go. We'll put that back on there. Okay, I think we're ready to go, chat. Okay, say goodbye to our base, because we won't be back for a bit. I'm gonna cram everything into one. That way I only have to run it once, hopefully. And hopefully everyone's on so you know. I know some of you guys have questions. Hey, how do I do this on Hashima? Well, you're gonna find out today. Okay, so since our base is on this side of the map, I think I'm going to, let's do, oh, you know what? Let's do prison first, because I'm right by prison. Okay? Bye, base. We'll see you later. We got our katana. I love this katana. Love it. I'll show you why we're going to prison once we get there and find what we're looking for. My sound is very low. I think I didn't turn it up. So I think I might have to tap out once we get inside. Guys, like, hi, dude. I'm gonna try to go get there without distracting any of these dead. So you could loot this and you could loot around here, but we're not gonna do that. Okay, so this is prison. See the POWWWS? We're gonna go there. But I just wanna say you could loot this area right here. And after the wipe, there was a wipe up here. But there used to be a chain fence right here somewhere so that you can't go back. So that is gone. And it looks like it's moved down all the way to here. So it's still here, but it's down here. Right here. So this is the back area. You can't get through here unless you go inside the prison. For you. How's everyone doing? It's been a hot minute since we've been on. I know that. You know, sometimes life happens and that's what you get, you know? So, okay. Let me put this away. I'm gonna get my backpack and oh, this is ruined. I like to pop one of these, the glow stick, and leave it on my backpack because it makes you can see it better in the. Okay, how's my battery? It's good. Okay, let's go. Go through there, and you know what, give me a second, chat. I'm gonna put my sound up. Okay, give me a second. There we go. Now I put here. Okay. Go this way, up one floor, to the right, to the right, to to the left. Hope I remember this. To the down, to the left, down. Open this. To the left. Open the gate. To the left. And to the right. So we're here. Creepy. See what's here. We will take that because we're selling things. So, taking everything. That's what we came for. USB stick, okay? So, we have a USB stick. There we go. We're gonna need that. So, you come to the prison to get the USB stick. And a note that you could read later. Yeah, that's it. That's all you came for. Now if you want to loot, so there's 2 places you could find the USB stick. This is one of them. We're gonna go up. And then right, and then right, and left. We're at the stairs. Now if you want to loot, you will go all the way up. There's some looting area all the way up here. Jump down there. Look at this pile of people dead. Creepy. So you would loot each of these rooms. See? They have like all that stuff right here. So you'll loot that. We're not gonna loot this. I'm just showing it to you. And that room. That room. Lots of room here. Since we're limited on time, I'm gonna skip all this looting right here for now. Okay, you could either go out the back way, which is you'll jump on here and then go down there and you're out. Or you could go back the same way that you came in. Fix my microphone right here. There we go. Here. And then you go up here. And we're in. And you just go all the way down. I don't even look. I just go like this until I can't run anymore. That's it. Okay, so we're gonna go back out. This is where we came from, on the right hand side right here. Now if you want to go all the way up in prison, you will go through here. Through here. You could loot all this area right here as well. There's a note right there. We could take that and read it later. Just go straight. Okay? And this is the back way right here. So you will take this up, and then it will take you all the way up. You have to maneuver this. Okay? just so you know. Okay. All the way up. We're not doing that today. I'm just showing it to you. So, yep, you're gonna go all the way up there, and then to the left, and then, you know, loot that area, and then go, you know, around. This is the area where we were at before. I don't think you could get through this, right? Yeah, you can't. So let's go back. So that's the back door, and then we're just gonna go through the front door since we found a USB stick, and it's pristine too. Very nice. You could loot these 2 towers. Oh no, I got the wrong one. I want this one. And then if you want to loot, there's not a lot of stuff to loot over here, but there's that part over here on the left hand side. Oh, where are you at? Darn. God. Crazy. Okay. Yeah, that island right there. I could ping it for you guys. Right there. So I could loot that. And that's about it. I went all the way around prison on the outside and there's nothing here, so. You don't have to. So we're done here. Next, we're gonna go to airfield, the airport, and let's see what's the easiest way to get to the airport. This way. We're gonna go to airport and then go into a bunker and get the printer. You know what? I better check and see if I have a printer. Oh, okay. So I have a printer just in case we don't find one. I've never used this road before. As it goes to that area, we'll see. Usually cut across the grass. Oh, that's new. No, this is not new. This is like still in the prison area. I haven't been back in Hashima in a hot minute, so I'm like, okay, where am I at? Okay, we don't want to deal with those guys. We're not gonna loot that military. There's a little tiny military right there. Oh, and if you're wondering what server I'm on, okay, I'm on a server called Hashima Island. You know what? Let me get the name once I get over here clear. And the owner is called Deceased, and he has several maps. I'm usually on his Hashima or his Bitterroots. So I'm really happy that I chose those maps because I haven't played them before. I'm learning Hashima really well, and so I love this sword. Oh, where are we at? Okay, we're here. Okay, this is the school. I used to be on Hashima a lot more, but now we all moved over to Bitterroots. But I was like, you know what? I did not finish streaming Hashima, and people have been asking me questions. So we're gonna do one Hashima, and if we have time, we'll run over to Bitterroots. Isn't that pretty right there? Oh, is that somebody's base still? Yep. They need to raise their flag. But I will tell you the name. I don't mind sharing where I'm at. So those are the two servers I'm usually at. Oh, this guy didn't. Deceased. This guy didn't take his stuff down. Look, he's not supposed to base in here. See, he put a lock right there. Okay, Deceased. This guy is not gonna move. So you need to probably just delete the door and delete these. What the heck? Okay, let's go. That's a cool base, right? Right there? Nice. So on this server, you can't use a existing building. So it's the best thing for you to do is find somewhere in the coast. Okay, chat. I'm gonna go in here because I'm gonna tell you guys. Oh look, there's a little thing. I could sell that. Sell that. Okay. I'm gonna tell you guys the name. We'll look at the ocean view. I'm gonna tap out and tell you the name of the server. Okay. The name of the server is called Hashima Islands, quotation mark, official, PVE, line in the middle, gazecamp.com/Discord. So it's Hashima Islands, official. So if you put Hashima Islands, you'll find it. And the other one on Bitterroots, it's called Survival Camp, Bitterroots Vanilla Plus. So that's the two map that I'm on. Okay. Yeah, if you're on, come by and say hi. In global chat. Little lag there. I might put my markers on because okay, we're going straight over here. Is my marker not on? Sorry, chat. Let me go like that. Yep, I turned them all off. There we go. And we're going to that one. Sorry about all the markers. I like to mark everything. Once we get over here, I'll take that out. Else I get lost in the forest. So you're just going to the airport. Once you get there, you'll see the area really clear. Is that a fox? Okay. Take those out. Okay, so this is the airport. You could loot all this area. But we're gonna skip all that because we have a mission. When I go up here, you can see the, whole area a little bit better. Not everything, but most everything. Then you loot to the left as well on top. So let me go up here. There we go. So you loot over here. Then you make your way over here. Okay, all of this right here. And then you come up here and you loop this way all the way down till you come to an end. And then you'll go across this and loop this area over here. But today I'm gonna take you guys on a shortcut where if you don't want to deal with the Z, you do it this way. Because there's a lot of Z right here in this area right here. And as soon as you start shooting, they all come. So, like right here and right over here. Let's go. I don't want to talk too much. Okay, so we're going to the bunker, which is right here. Okay? That's where we're going. Oh, here he comes. So you want to actually go across. Oh. And you can loot this area as well. Let's see if he does. Oh yeah, he does. It's fine. Go down here. And if you crawl, they won't be able to hear you. So if you want to crawl across, that's actually a nice way of doing it. If you don't have a gun and all that stuff. Go here. You loot this area before you go in. This area right here. Okay. So I'm gonna go crouch. See all these there right here? You don't have to deal with them. This is the door we're gonna go in. So we need a key card. And you get these key cards from the zombies that are wearing NBC gear. So any of those cards will open this up. And it's ruined once you use it, unless it's pristine. levers right here. So your loot, everything you need to loot is on the right hand side. But we're not looting today. I'm just gonna show you, so make sure you loot on the right hand side. Everything there as well. There's a guy right here. You could do this if you need to. Sometimes they're inside here, so be careful. Oh, I guess not. I don't want to shoot him. There's a guy over there. Yep, lots to loot over here. Open this. You don't need a key card, just one key card at the entrance, okay? Okay, we're gonna go to the right. Then we're gonna go into this little area right here. It should be bottom left. There it is. Okay, bottom left. This is what you're looking for. So it's damaged, which is fine. And then you will put your USB stick right here in the middle. So we'll do that later. And we'll buy a 9V battery. It has to be full and pristine. You could buy that at the trader, or you have to find it. And you need a blank key card, and we will go find the blank key card as well. Okay, so we're done in here. What you could do is you could go out the same way, or you could go out the back door. So we'll go through the back door. Right there. Just go all the way up. And this door closes real quick, okay? So make sure you are leaving for sure. And when we come out, we're on this tower right here. I call it the candy cane tower. I'll show you real quick so you're not lost. The airport is where I'm running to. You could loot the buildings on the left-hand side and the right-hand side right here. Okay, this one and this one. We were down here. This is, you see where the plane is? That's where the around that area where the tent is. See the tent? See those tents right there? That's where we went down on, and we exit through the over here for the main the back door. And that's the sound of it closing the front door. So you could loot these buildings right here. These don't have a lot of stuff. They do have like clothes and food and things like that. Isn't this pretty? Look at this area. You know what? I need to take some screenshot for, because sometimes I don't have a good picture. So we need to stop and screenshot stuff as well. Okay, chat, we're on our way. Okay, so this place that I'm gonna show you. I don't want my gun, I want my sword. This place I'm gonna show you is the second area where you could get the USB stick. You can loot this desert area as well. There's only three wells on this. Yeah, 3 wells on this map. One's on the right hand side over here. Okay. And the other one is, let's see, USB, yeah. And the mainland. And then one is on the starter town. Go to this first. And all this mess is a tent, one single tent. So this is the tent you want to go in. And if it's here, it should be right here. Nope, a piece of tart. Oh god. Okay, you could eat the tart, you know. I think you might get sick though. So it's not here, so we only have one USB, but we do have a note if you want to read that. And that's it. I don't need that. This tube changes the bed sheets. And okay, so somebody based here, right here. And I don't think DCs know, but I was like, look how close he is to the USB stick. And I think I was like, I saw this, I was like, wait, you guys are based here? He goes, yeah. And I go, I don't think DCs realize that the USB is right there. So they could just go there, like, you know, and just take advantage of that. But he approved it before, because I don't think he knows that it was there. So that's fine though, you know. He's the owner, so. This is a nice base though. And then if you need water, there's a well right here. And there's that well right here. So you could get your water on here. And loot this area as well. This is pretty. Look at these buildings. Nice, right? Actually, that's a good picture to have. About like that. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So we got the USB battery. Okay, so let's go get the key card. You could loot this building as well. We're gonna go run exactly the same route as we did to get here. Remember this? Candy cane tower. These trees are so beautiful. Okay, we didn't take this, but we're gonna pick this up. Get up here. Oh, and there's a bunk. I should have showed you guys, darn it. There's a bunker here and a bunker up here. Okay, so there's 3 bunkers in this area. Ah! The Discord is on the bottom left. daisycamp.com / Discord. If you want to join there and you can't find the server, there's links on there. Okay, we're leaving the airport. Now we're gonna go to the middle island, and I'm gonna show you where you could farm a regular a regular key card. Remember, it has to be from those guys that are wearing. Oh, you could find if you see at the airport, you see any of those guys that were the MDC guys, kill them. They'll have the regular key card for the bunkers. You could cut across, but I'm just gonna go this way. It's been a while since I'm on Hashima. I don't know my way around. If you take the road, you see this little town coming up. You go up, you pull the town. And there's no cars on Hiroshima, so everything's running. And we're back over here, see? That base right down the right. We're talking about it. This town has a lot of good stuff, so if you're in this area, make sure you loot that town. It has a lot of nice stuff in it. So this town is the top left-hand side. I mean, not this town, this area. This island is the top left side. I'll show you the map in a few seconds here. Okay, we're gonna go to the center island where it connects everything. It's a pretty area. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of that. Oh, I hear the seagull. Oh, excuse me, chat. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me show you the map. Do a 380. So I live over here. Okay. And that base right here is one of my friend's base. Okay. Let's look at the map. Okay. So this island, oh god, I marked everything, is top right hand side. So we went to get the key card, like I would say in here somewhere. And prison is down here. This is prison right here. And I think our base is over here. So the prison's right here where we got the USB stick. And that tent for the second USB stick is right here. This one. What else is important here? The bunkers, okay. Let's see. One is right here, the one we went to. The second one, you have to go all the way up here at these military tents, and you make your way through the mountains, the rocks, and then it's in here somewhere. Okay. And the other one is across right here somewhere. Oh, I think it's over here somewhere. Yeah. Where the train is. You'll see some train. So go through the bush in the train. We should have done that one because it's complicated. Okay, and so we're gonna go to the middle island, which is right here. It connects all the islands together. Hopefully I only have to make one video of all the tutorial, the places to go and all that stuff, and then I don't have to talk as much. And this is a man-made bridge, this right here. Usually there's no bridge and you have to go through here and jump over. And the water are toxic, so if you fall in the water, yeah, you might just die if you're not near shore. Look how pretty this is. Just gorgeous. We need screenshots. I'm glad it's not raining. We're skipping all the loot, chat. We are skipping all the loot. I might tap out in and out because I'm expecting something at the door. So that's why. So this is one of the places you could find, if you're lucky, 2 key cards from the NBC guy. So I go right here, and then I just jump on top of these things right here. And let me show you guys third person so you can see. So this is the area I jump on top of, and then I just call them and they come to you. You want to use a loud gun. Use this one. I try not to shoot the NBC guys. Did he run off? Yeah, he did. Let's separate them. It's easier to loot them. Come over here. Card. A filter, warm. Oh. So these NPC guy will have the key card you could go to the bunker with. None. We're not lucky. No key cards. And there's a tiny little military right here. There's two right here. There's a... You could loot that one, and there's one over here. And go up here. You could take this route if you don't want to deal with the Z. If you need water, there's a well on the middle island. Okay, I need a screenshot of that. This is kind of interesting, I think. You could go in here, but it just ends here. This would be a good place to put a base if they let you be this close to the trader, you know? So laggy here. Don't tell me you have to go around. There, okay. So there's a drinking fountain right here. But this is where all the action is. This is where all the Z are. So if you're gonna drink there, get your gun out. Okay, so over here is the trader. It's right here. Okay. We'll do that bunker down there after we come back. So we're gonna go to this island right here, the starter island. Oh,
Just underscore Kai A just
it's
followed.
always laggy on this island. So you just take this outer part. You don't want to deal with the Z. This area right here has, so you could take the regular passage right here, or you could go down here. This is like a crazy place to go to. Go through this, and there's like a lot of Z down here, but there's nothing down here. See? Not neat. Huh. Okay, so we're gonna go to the bunker at the stadium, and we're gonna go to bunker 3 to get the blank key card. You can loot all this stuff right here if you need food. There's lots of food. And these cars. Let me check my shoes. Devastating. this is the castle. Inside the castle, there's actually a area that you would drop into, and you might die. And then this thing, this right here, this is where you come out of. I hear a boar. Oh, sorry, chat. Okay, let me put my marker on. I like to go by the chicken town, the chicken and pig, and cut across from there. Let's go see the chicken and pigs. I love chicken and pigs and friendly animals. There they are. Oh my god. There's the boar. We're not killing them, guys. Sorry. Look at him. Oh. These guys are runners. Wow, look at him run. Okay. There he is. Hi guys. Hi. Can I run faster than you? Oh, maybe if I go third, I can see them better. Hey. Where are you going, huh? Where do you think you're going? You're lucky we're not killing you today. You know? Bye. Bye. Okay, so this, oh, this is where you'll find the pigs and chicken over here. Right over here, in this area. I hear a pig already. There's a chicken right there. Oh, you know what? Let's get one because I think our chicken is rotten. Yeah, he's rotten. He's rotten. So we'll take this one, this guy. There we go. Oh, okay. This is like unlimited pigs and chicken farm. Let's go visit the pig real quick before we leave. I think I heard him over here. You can loot this tower as well. There he is. Okay, let's go take that off. It's a hen. It's a hen. Oh, okay, where did you go, piggy? Oh, there you are. We don't see your face. We don't see your face. Okay. That's good. Let's get out of here. You can sell all that animal stuff except for the chicken. You can't sell the chicken. that pig. It's like zombies are trying to get him. Okay, chat. Let's stop for a second here. Give me about 30 seconds. Put my marker back on. We're gonna go to the house. The bunker should be around here. Smart. Look how beautiful this bridge is. I'm gonna come to it. This area is so gorgeous. I need a picture of this. And then the bunkers are on the right, so I'm gonna turn around right here. And those POWWWS. And we're gonna go bunker 3. Bunker 3. There's one here, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the stadium area. And you need the key card from the NBC guys, so I have a few of those. We'll use that one. Doesn't matter which one. Don't use these though. These are the one you'll get from the printer. To the left. It ends here. To the left. To the right. Follow the green. Down the green. wall. Cover the green wall all the way down to the end. Okay, no blank key card, but a beer. I'll take the beer. You could loot this in here. We're not looting anything, we're just here for the blank key card. All this stuff you could loot. You could loot here. I'm just gonna close this so no more zombie will bother us. Same for this. All the way down to the end. And we're gonna jump through that window. Go all the way up. Up the stairs. First door on your left. Sometimes there's a zombie in here. Where do you go? That's weird. And look, we found the blank key card. So we got the blank key card. Blank key card goes there. USB stick goes there. And then we just buy the battery from the trader or you find one. Pristine and full. That's what you need. If you play on the server, there's a battery at the secret trader. Please do not use that battery. It will, you know, mess up your printer. See how laggy it is? Is he even dead? Yep. I crouch here because sometimes a bear will glitch here in this area, and so I want to be able to at least have a few seconds to react. And these NBC guys, always check them because they'll have like the key cards, the regular key cards. This is the next area to look, and it's only a magazine. So we're done with this area, and you could loot this as well. There's stuff on the right hand side and on top also of the ladder. We're skipping the loot. Okay, no bear. No bears. Jump here. Crouch. Go through here. And we're gonna go all the way down. I know, you don't need to crouch here, but since I'm already down. That's the door closing. Down the stairs. And this is the last place to look for the blank key card. And then once you get here, if you get lost, make sure you T it so you can come back. Tag that. To the right. should be here. It's not here. A piece of tard. And that's it. But the we're gonna go all the way upstairs, because all the way upstairs, that one area, it actually spawns really quick. So we're gonna check that before we leave. So we're all the way in the bottom. We're gonna go back all the way on top. Okay, not the stairs, but this part right here, where I said sometimes the bears spawn in this area right here. There's an NPC guy right here. Do you have a card fight? Nope. See a spawn already, but nope. Okay, we're done here. So we're gonna leave the bunker with only one blank key card, which is fine. And those are the spots that you could find the blank key card at. Only, this is the only area. You could do bunkers 1, 2, 3, or 4. Bunker 3 is the only one I found the key card in. But, you know, feel free to explore the other bunkers and look around. And they take the key cards from the NBC guy. Any of those key cards. I left the door open, so we're looking for the open door. I hate this window sometimes. Okay. To the left. And you could loot all this. I'm just skipping all of this loot areas. Go down. Here's our exit. There should be a guy right here sometimes. Open the door. Nope, he's not. Okay, so this is where all the bunkers are. Not all of them, but the one with the key cards you could find. Bunker 3 is the one that I normally go, that has the most spawn point. Look at all my markers. So we're gonna go back to the middle island and buy a battery. I have some battery at base too that are full, but I want to show you where the trader is. And since we're there, we're gonna go to the underground area as well. past the chicken and pigs again. My favorite part. I could hear the chicken. Is that, oh. Hey guys, we're not stopping by to visit you this time. Bye, chicken and pigs. You're going to the butcher's all the way down to the left and to the right. Oh, bear spawning. I think he's at work, but probably spawning to build. It's nighttime. No, we don't want nighttime. Left, and we're going to General Trader. You could loot all these cars too. They have good stuff. And the tower as well, the green towers on the right and left hand side. Like this one right here. There's a clicker. I could hear him. Okay. General trade on the right. This away. Oh, damn. Wow. Laggy. Laggy. Okay, how much is a battery? $120. Oh, okay. I'll just show you what they sell. They don't sell everything. And then this lady. Okay, so let me find that battery. Go here. Look, there's no fire. You see, we need a forever fire here. Okay, let's scroll down and find that battery. This one's a pristine one. Is it folder? Okay, I'll do that just in case. I have tons of these food. I don't know where that battery went. Is it here? Nope. Oh, there's our coffee. We gotta drink that too. Let's see if that battery works. Hopefully it works. Okay, drink our coffee. Eat more food. Where's our printer? There's our printer. Let's see if this battery works, please. No, it's not full. Where is the battery I bought? We gotta find it, chat. We gotta find it. This one's not full. Where is it? I gotta buy another one. Let's just buy several. Maybe there'll be... Okay, so I bought several. Maybe they'll pop up next to each other, so it's easy to find. Oh, there they are. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're so little, they take one slot. We'll put these right here. Goes there. Okay, once it goes there, and see on the left hand side it says switch on. So I'm gonna go for first person. If you switch it on, it's this blank key card is gonna make this key card, the Kobayashi. So you need this to go to black market in the gas area. So turn it on. See how you could see it spinning? See how it's spinning like that? And then the key card is gonna pop out. Right there. And then it should be pristine. Yep. And this is it drained out, and then now it's badly damaged. So you could use this again, but this is gone. Okay. Give me a second.